Jack, thanks for hanging with me through the break here.
Absolutely, bud.
So we got NASCAR happening too, or what?
I might be sitting with Austin Dillon and Paul Swan sitting right next to me right now. Paul, what's up, bro?
How we doing?
Paul, man, appreciate you kind of hanging out here through the Barbecue Central. I'm sure you're like the biggest fans ever because it's live fire. North Carolina, obviously a barbecue mecca, whole hog mostly. What's your favorite whole hog down there, bro?
Man, whatever Jack's cooking is my favorite. Honestly, this guy, you cannot go wrong with Jack Arnold's cooking. Everybody in my friend group and everyone around this area knows Jack Arnold as the best chef, best cook, best barbecue or anything. I mean, the guy whips up the most magical food ever.
Phil, let me ask you a question here. You're obviously the front tire carrier for the number 3 car, Richard Childress Racing. What details are you responsible for the folks that aren't NASCAR down? I mean, I'm totally NASCAR down, but for the folks that aren't, what are you responsible for during the race when you're going over that wall?
Yeah, so I'm technically just a tire carrier now. With we switched from 6-man pit crews to 5-man pit crews last season. So I carry out the rear tire and the front tire, and I set the front tire off for the jackman to hang, and then I go back to the rear and hang that tire, run around, take both tires that came off the car, bring them around to the other side, grab another tire and hang it on the left front. And then we got to do that all in about 12 to 13 seconds.
Like, how often are you practicing that during the week?
We practice 3 days a week. We work out. We watch film. We do everything just like any other athlete would. And there's a lot of time that goes into our stuff during the week.
Phil, I mean, I've seen you on Instagram. I would imagine if the jack fails, you just reach that left hand underneath it, and you can just hike that car right up. I mean, you are huge.
Oh, yeah. There's no question about it. I mean, all the weights we're lifting during the week, we better be able to lift these cars up one-handed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So this week, you guys are headed out to Fontana, California, doing that 2-mile super speedway thing. I don't know if Austin is there or not, but Austin, if you are listening and can answer, are you more of a fan of driving the super speedways, or are you more of a short track like Bristol or Richmond kind of guy?
Actually, Greg, Austin just now stepped out the back door for 2 seconds.
No, of course.
If you don't mind.
Phil, answer that for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to answer the best I can. I mean, I'm not really sure what Austin likes the most, or what track he feels most comfortable on. That's a good question for him.
What do you like working?
What's that?
What do you like working, a short track or a super speedway?
I mean, super speedways are normally not fun races for the pit crew to pit because the car, at least kind of like your typical Daytona or Talladega super speedway, the car is set up so that it makes it pretty hard to pit the car because of all the different aero and the speed that helps with having the car slam down and the different springs and shocks in the car. So super speedways mostly aren't our favorite, but this California is a little different with how the car's set up. It's not like Talladega and Daytona. So California's always been a fun track for us to pit at.
Phil Swan joining me here on the show talking a little NASCAR. Let's transition out of the race here just for a second. What are your live fire skills like, Phil?
They are they're kind of non-existent before I met Jack. He showed me a lot. He's helped me out with my green egg. I got a green egg after I met him, and he's definitely showed me the ropes. And I feel like I got a pretty good knowledge of it now, and I make some pretty good stuff. But man, nothing compares to what he does and what he can cook. But maybe one day I'll be there.
Yeah,
no, Greg, I'm telling you, Paul's being humble right now. He can actually make a pretty damn mean steak. I've had it.
Yeah, man. Once that firebug bites you, it's hard not to just want to keep getting better and better. No,
it's addicting. It definitely is. It's more than a hobby. I feel like it is. It's a way of life, especially for Jack.
Phil, let me ask you one more question. I saw on Instagram that you guys are getting ready for season 2 of Barn Life. What is Barn Life?
That's right. Man, it's a little deal. Me and Austin started last year, and our other buddy Voss. We just started small up in our little studio in Austin's barn, and had one camera and one little microphone, and we just wanted a cool show for us to express ourselves and talk about our lives and, just all the stuff we enjoy doing, get some of our buddies on as guests. And, it's kind of started growing from there. And we had it pretty big last season up at the barn. And then we kind of cut it off for a little while. We both got pretty busy with stuff, me getting married and, him just being busy in the off season. And now we're going to get it going again. And they have this new studio up at his business, his Team Dillon Management. It's like his managing place. And so we got a pretty badass studio up there that we're going to get firing up and get it going again. And NASCAR is going to kind of jump in and have some fun with us with it too. So it's going to be a big season 2 for us with Barn Life.
Well, my man, if for some reason Jack is not available to come on and give you straight talk about live fire, I mean, I know a guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, we will definitely keep that in mind. I don't want to hurt Jack's feelings, but sounds like you know your way around a microphone, so we might have to get you on there.
Right on, man.
Not hurting my feelings, Greg. It's okay.
All right, man. Phil Swan, appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you having me. Thanks, man.
You got it. So that was Phil Swan transitioning back to Jack Arnold here as we close it out. Jack, let's quickly cover this coming weekend, which I have to imagine is one of your favorite things to do, not only cooking, but kind of like you're doing with Phil, spreading the good word of live fire cooking, helping people become better cooks, not only in their backyard, but potentially taking it somewhere that might be a little bit more competitive too.
Yes, sir. I got to say that I'm really, really looking forward to going down to Texas this weekend to do another class of my favorite guys in the world down at Premier Grilling down at Frisco, best backyard retailing store in the country. HPV is going down in Dallas this weekend, so it's absolutely a huge weekend down there. I'm surprised you're not there, my friend.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, man. Come on, man. You know me. I go nowhere. I'm anchored down.
No, right.
I go college visits over the weekend trying to get people committed for volleyball scholarships. That's my job.
I totally understand. I'll hopefully know about I will know about that soon. I don't mind making the announcement right now that I found out I'm actually going to be a father on August 24th. We're expecting our first child.
Oh,
so
my man.
Very
Congratulations.
That, so.
Look at that. Budding pitmaster.
Thank you so much. It means the world more than anything. We're very, very excited about that. So we'll have a new griller in the family with us.
No doubt. So this coming weekend, if I'm not mistaken, it's 45-day dry-aged Wagyus. You got some caribou to pork stuff going on, the porterhouse versions, also lobster mac and cheese. Let's start there. I think one of my favorite things ever is lobster. So mac and cheese for sure, but then throw on lobster on top of that, and all of a sudden I'm in love like I can't stand it.
I was told last time at our last class Premier Grilling that we had to do that again, so we're absolutely doing that again. Our guy Joe up at lobsteranywhere.com makes, he just has unbelievable fresh lobster. We order about 4 pounds of lobster. It's already declawed and deshelled. Just put in bags, just add the meat to it, and it's absolutely amazing. So we like some big chunks of lobster in with our mac and cheese. I'll probably go with probably a rotini pasta this time to make it so it's good bites, and I think the class is going to be. I hope they're very happy with it. I'm going to try very hard for it.
Were you doing a different noodle the last time? Were you like a penne or elbow?
I actually have done elbow. I've done rigatoni, but I think I just like rotini better. I think the cheese traps in the spirals really well, making for a better bite.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. All right, so let's talk about caribou to pork porterhouses. So it's got that steak identification to it in the porterhouse. So obviously you have a loin and you have a strip on the side. But have you used these before?
I have not yet used the Snake River ones before. I've done a pork porterhouse before. I'll probably go to a 140 internal temperature. We'll hit it with the one and only Meat Church Honey Hog, and we'll grill it on and probably make like an apple slaw or something to pair with it. I haven't really decided yet, but it's going to be some amazing pork. I think the class is going to be very happy. And
then, of course, coup de grace, 45-day dry-aged Wagyu Snake River Farm. So as it relates just to the dry-age movement, we've talked about it for the better part of a year on this show, seeing it the rise not only in the restaurant scene, but more and more people wanting to take it into their home and dry-age themselves through different variations, whether it be a bag whether it be through some separate contraption to control humidity and wind movement and all that stuff. Where do you fall out on this whole dry aged thing right now?
Well, I've never dry aged myself, but I can tell you it certainly has a much richer flavor. These 45-day dry aged Wagyu tomahawks from Snake River Farms are about the most beautiful steaks I've ever seen in my life. I mean, we're so lucky that we get to cook with such a product. I will be very, very careful while I'm cooking these steaks, to say the least. But yeah, I just don't think you can beat the flavor of, when you combine dry age with Wagyu, and especially with such care as they're taking at Snake River Farms. This is going to be a whole lot of fun.
When you look at where dry aging is across the country, if you look in Los Angeles, you have Barbecue Hall of Famer Adam Perry Lang doing some crazy things over at APL. Obviously, on the East Coast, there's a lot of crazy things going on with dry aging. For instance, APL just is always showing 385-day dry-aged steak, and I'm trying to think, when you get out to 60 and 70 days, and I'm as big of a Funkmaster Flex guy when it comes to steak as anybody, but I'm just wondering where your funk stop is when it comes to dry age.
I've never really thought about that, to be completely honest. The 300-plus days, I bet that's a very interesting texture on that steak after that much time, to say the least. But I commend them for being able to be that patient with it. I highly doubt that I would be able to personally.
Have you had anything past the 45-day on like these Wagyu or on these Snake River Farms, or have you gotten out to 60 or so days?
No, I think 45 is definitely the longest that I've had by any means on these. I'd had 30-day plenty of times, 28-day plenty of times, but 45 is about the max I've got. I don't know if it's just going to be an amazingly different flavor or whatnot. If I did an extra 15 days, it took 60, but the 45 is already so mind blowing for me. I'm grateful to even have the opportunity to try that, to be honest.
All right, so we got the cooking class coming up this weekend. You had mentioned that it was sold out, so hopefully you have your tickets and you're going to be hanging out there. Did you say that you were going to be kind of scampering around HPBA as well?
I'm going to get to Texas on Friday morning. I'll probably I think I'll be getting there around 12:30 if I'm not mistaken. So if I can get over to HPBA and see everybody, I would absolutely love to. If not, I'll certainly be seeing the folks Saturday morning at Premier Grilling, and I'm very grateful for everybody being willing to spend their Saturday morning with me. Hope I can put on a good show for you.
When's the next Fish concert?
The next Fish concert is June 21st here in Charlotte, and then after that we are doing Saturday night, July 6th, 4th of July weekend at Fenway Park in Boston.
Wow, so that's 37 and 38. It's not a contest here, but my guy Hootie Barbecue in Pittsburgh has been to 71 Fish concerts.
My man,
7-1.
Wow. Yeah, I got a lot to shoot for right there. There are some legends out there who've gotten to see a lot of shows, and boy, they're family. I tell you, I love them.
No doubt. You can follow Jack on Instagram at Jack Arnold. Almost 61,000 of you do. Jack, really appreciate the time this evening. Please pass my thanks over to Phil, and I apologize that Austin had to run out just as I was asking him the most popular question I've ever asked anybody on the face of the earth. But maybe next time we can possibly get him on there. So, again, always appreciate the time.
Absolutely great. It's always an honor to be on your show. I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you all so much.
You got it. There he is, Jack Arnold. On the Instagram at Jack Arnold. There you go. So